Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. I hope it's working now. Let me know if it's working, the voice. Sorry. I just changed the location in this hotel because my face looks brighter in this room, so but I think the microphone setting became default, so I think it was the issue. Okay, yes, okay, so now it's working great. Okay, so once again, thank you for joining on this live stream today. This is 11th of July and on Sunday. So today I will be covering the forecast on Forex pairs and also gold and oil and then indices and also for news for next week. So let's see. Okay, it's working now. Okay, great. Thank you for the comments. Yeah, just to make sure that everything's working okay, because we never know what happens. Okay, so yeah, because sometimes I think it was like last year or last year, I was recording the video, and I recorded the full video for about like 25 minutes, and afterwards I realized that the voice wasn't recorded, so I had to redo again. So these things happen sometimes. So that is another reason why I like the live stream, because in the live stream I know the voice is not the microphone is not working by the reaction, so in that sense it's better. Okay, so let me talk about the pairs, the Forex pairs first. So today is today's Sunday, so I will cover the weekly time frames. So every weekend I check weekly chart, every month end I check monthly charts, and every day end I check the daily charts, because these are the timings where the candlestick closes on these time frames. So here is a weekly chart on Euro USD, and I do see that this is ranging, and you can see that the Kumo Senko span B is up, A is down, and Kijun Sen down, Tenkan Sen down, and Chikou span is very close with the candles, and this is ranging. The price is exactly in the Kumo, so the market just goes up and down, and afterwards we never know which way it's going next week. So we have to look at the lower time frames and follow the direction in the lower time frames. And Euro AUD. So I will screen the Euro pairs first, Euro-based pairs first. So Euro AUD, this is also flat, because Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, Kijun Sen down, but Tenkan Sen is up, and there is a gold cross here. So Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen, gold cross below the Kumo, meaning that this is the end of the downtrend. It doesn't mean that it just keeps going up this way, but this means that this is the end of the downtrend. So Chikou span breakout could follow, and when you see the Kumo breakout, that will be the reversal of downtrend from downtrend to uptrend. But until it happens, the market is range as per Ichimoku definition. So in that sense, this is still ranging. It just means that this is the end of the downtrend. So from here, we don't know which way it's going. So we have to wait for the trend on the lower time frames to follow. And also in this particular market, there is an outside bar. Last week, high and low was engulfing the previous 6 candles. So this is an outside bar. So in this example, we better wait until the market breaks either direction. The resistance level is at 1.5976 and support level is at 1.5614. So better to wait for either direction breakout for next week, and then follow that direction in lower time frames. Alright, and moving on to Euro Pound. This is bearish. The Kumo's down, Kijun Sen is down, so this is bearish. The price is below Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen, Kumo, and Chikou span below the candles. So next week onwards, we can expect the market continuously going down this way. So from daily chart and lower time frames, we can look for the sell chance in this particular pair. So let me turn it to purple because this is trending on the weekly time frame. So let's go to Euro JPY. Alright, Euro JPY is now retracing. Now Kijun Sen became flat. Kumo also flat right now. So this is retracing and it's ranging now. So we have to wait until the market goes up or down. If it breaks at Kijun Sen on the weekly chart, then the price will drop all the way down to Kumo. But if it's going to be supported by the Kijun Sen and then it goes up or range, so we have to look at the lower time frames for the direction. So I think this is the market that we have to stay away because it is a huge retracement and there's not much of moves in the market. Okay, so let's go to Euro CAD. Okay, Euro CAD is downtrending right now. This is Kumo's bearish, Kijun Sen down, so this is bearish. The price is slightly above the Tenkan Sen, but there's a chance that the market is going to be resisted by the Tenkan Sen and it goes down this way and breaks the support at 1.4581 level because the market has been resisted by the Tenkan Sen once and twice before. So it might be resisted and next week we might see bearishness. So when you see downtrend in lower time frames, that will be a great chance to look for the sell chance. So EuroCAD, I will mark this one also to screen for next week. And let's move on to Euro Swiss franc. Euro Swiss franc has been ranging on the weekly basis. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat too. The price is in between Kijun Sen and Kumo, and Chikou span too close, so this is ranging. In terms of lower time frames, as per daily chart or the forward chart, this is downtrending. So we can follow the lower time frame downtrend because now this is the end of the uptrend because you see that there is a dead cross of Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen above the Kumo on the weekly chart. So the price could drop down to the Kumo for next week. Okay, so let's move on to the USD-based pairs. So I'm going to be covering all these pairs on the right side. So including the AUD USD, I will be covering it. So let me talk first and then I will answer to the questions you have. Okay, so here is the USD JPY. This is bullish now on the weekly basis. The Kumo's up, Kijun Sen is pointing upwards, and the price is being supported by the Tenkan Sen. So next week could be bullish, so we can look for the buy chance on this one. And USD Swiss franc is ranging. The price is exactly in the Kumo now, so this is ranging, and we don't know which way it's going. So next week could be tough to trade on this particular pair. And the USD CAD is also retracing backwards, and the Kumo is now flat, Kijun Sen flat also, and Chikou span getting closer to the candles, and this is a ranging market. If the market breaks the Kijun Sen next week, then we better not to look for buy or sell chance. But if the market is going to be resisted by the Kijun Sen and start to go down this way, then that we might be able to look for the sell chance. So that will be good. But now this is still ranging as per weekly basis, so I would prefer to wait a bit more time, maybe until next Tuesday or Wednesday, and see if we see any trends on the daily chart or the forward charts. So let's go to the pound-based pairs. The pound USD is ranging also. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, and the market is retracing backwards to the Kijun Sen here. So this is ranging. Last week was bullish, but last week was bearish, and there's not much of move. There's not much of a trend on this particular pair. So next week could be a bit difficult to trade. Moving on to pound JPY. This is good. This is uptrending on the weekly chart. So we might see some uptrends next week on the daily chart or the lower time frames. There is a week low. There is a long wick pointing downwards last week. So this shows that there is there's more buyers considering the market. So next week the buyers could follow and the market could go up this way. So a pound JPY will be a nice market to be in, the trade to buy. And let's go to the pound AUD. Pound AUD has been up also, but because the price is exactly in the Kumo now on the weekly chart, next week could be bearish or it could be spiky ups and downs on the lower time frames. And with that in mind, you look for the buy chance because it's going up. So let's go to the pound CAD. Pound CAD has been flat right now. The Kumo flat, Kijun-sen flat. The price is exactly in the Kumo now also, so there's not much of moves. Pound Swiss franc is also, I would say, ranging. I see Kumo's flat, Kijun-sen is pointing upwards, but if you see the price here, price action, there are markets, there are candlesticks that are flat, and also wicks ups and downs. So this is not a trending market, so it could go down anytime soon. So we better wait until the market goes up to look for buy chance. If it goes down next week, then you better not to look for buy chance. So let's move on to AUD USD. This is also retracing, and this is retracing back down to the Kumo here. So as per weekly chart, the price is about to go into the Kumo. So next week could be bearish. Chikou span already broke the candles and this is bearish now. So if the price goes into the Kumo on this weekly chart, then you see on the daily chart and lower time frames, it goes down. You will see downtrend on the lower time frames. But even if you see downtrend on the daily chart and lower time frames, it might be spiky because on the weekly chart it goes into the Kumo. So with that in mind, you have to manage your risk and take trades to sell. And here is the AUD-CAD pair. So AUD-CAD is exactly in the range. I mean, the price is exactly in the Kumo, where the Kumo itself is flat and the Kijun-sen flat at the moment. So, and when you see this flatness of the Kijun-sen Kumo, while price is exactly in the Kumo, you see this spiky and ranging market. So even if you see downtrend or uptrend on the lower time frames, it might go opposite direction very quickly next week. So in that sense, I would recommend to wait for the Kumo breakout and then look for the sell chance. But it might take a couple more weeks or months. So until then, we can follow the downtrend because it's been downtrending and the price is near the support level at 0.9253 level. So once the market breaks the support, then it can be continuously downtrending. But even so, the market can be spiky, so we have to be careful for the risk management to sell in this market. So let's go to the AUD-JPY. AUD-JPY is now flat also. It's been retracing backwards and there's not much of moves in the market. The Kumo is flat, but the price is at the Kijun-sen area, so the market might be supported by the Kijun-sen and goes up this way. The Chikou span is closer to the candles, but technically Chikou span is still above the candles, so in that sense this is too bullish. So next week could be bullish trend, but if the market breaks the Kijun-sen on the weekly chart, then you don't want to look for the buy chance anymore. It might go backwards to the Kumo or go into the range, so you better not to look for buy chance if it happens next week. And also let's go to the AUD Swiss franc. This is also flat ranging, Kumo flat, and there we have this Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen dead cross on the weekly chart. So once again, if you see Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen dead cross above the Kumo, this means that this is the end of the uptrend. It doesn't mean that the market's going to keep going down from here, but this means that this is the end of the uptrend. And when you see Chikou span breakout, then the price can drop down and goes into the Kumo, but still we don't think that this is downtrending as per weekly chart. Once again, we might see downtrend on the lower time frames, but on the weekly basis this is not a downtrend, so that means on the lower time frames you might see a spiky and tricky market. So we better wait until the market breaks the Kumo to start to look for the sell chance. So let's go to the CAD pairs. So CAD JPY, this is the Kumo's flat now. Senkou span A is down, Senkou span B flat, but Kijun Sen is up. So in this case, you see Kijun Sen is up, but because the Kumo is flat, the market can be dropping down to Kijun Sen. So in that sense, next week could be bearish, so we might see some downtrend on the lower time frames. Okay, so let's move on to CAD Swiss franc. So CAD Swiss franc pair, this is flat also, very similar to CAD JPY. The Senkou span B flat, Senkou span A is going down, and Kijun Sen is going up this way. So this is where you might see the Kijun Sen fake angle, and the market can go down to the Kijun Sen next week. So next week could be bearish, but it might not gonna be so strong until the market touches the Kijun Sen on the weekly chart. It might take a couple more weeks, so we might see some range market next week. So finally, this is the Swiss franc JPY. This pair is also flat Kumo, flat Kijun Sen. The price has been supported by the Kijun Sen, so once it breaks the Kijun Sen, then you don't want to look for buy chance. But if it continues to go up this way, then you will see the Kumo up, Kijun Sen up at some point, and then start to look for buy in the lower time frames. But it might not gonna happen anytime soon. We might see some spiky markets continuously on lower time frames, so I would prefer to stay away in this kind of market. Okay, so that covers the whole Forex pairs on my watch list. So let's move on to the commodity, gold, and also WTI oil. So here's gold, and gold on the weekly chart is now ranging also. The Kumo's flat, Kijun Sen is actually pointing downwards, but the price is exactly in the Kumo now, and Chikou span too close with the past candles, and this is ranging market. So next week could be tricky because the price is in the Kumo now. We might see some ups and downs, but it might turn opposite direction very quickly. So with a decent risk management, you can take trades, but my recommendation is to stay away in this kind of condition. It might be a very tricky market on the lower time frames. And also on the weekly chart, this is in the P wave. So in that sense, the market can go up and goes up to the resistance of this P wave. But even so, I don't think it's gonna happen next week or next week. We might see some bearish or no trend next week, and slightly bullish trend next week, and then another week bullish trend next week or so. So it might take a couple more weeks until the market reaches to the top of the P wave, and until then we might see some spiky markets. So with that in mind, you can look for buy chance, but with the risk management you have to do. Okay, so the next one is the WTI crude oil, and this is uptrending now. We see Kumo's up, Senkou span B's up, and A's up, and both the Tenkan Sen and Kijun Sen are up right now, and Chikou span above the candles. So no doubt this is the uptrend. It's a nice and stable uptrend as per weekly chart. last week was doji candlestick, so last week there was no trend, and also we see that there is an outside bar. So if the market breaks the resistance level of around 77.22 level, then you can look for the buy chance. If it doesn't break, then the market could be retracing or ranging for a couple more weeks. And when we see the Kijun-sen flat and Kumo flat at some point, then you don't want to look for the buy chance anymore, because it shows the ranging market or retracing as per Ichimoku Kinko Hyo on the weekly chart. Okay, so that's the commodity gold and WTI oil. So now I will switch it to the indices. So let me start talk about the Nikkei index. Nikkei index is still in the P wave, but the Kumo's up, Kijun-sen is flat, and Tenkan-sen is Kijun-sen is up, Tenkan-sen is flat, and you see that there is a dead cross. There's dead cross and Chikou span touching the candles, and when you see this setup on any markets, then the market can break the P wave downwards. So next week I expect the market will be downtrending, because you see exactly within the P wave structure like this way. Let me cancel the candlesticks, and you see Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen dead cross above the Kumo. So when you see the Tenkan-sen below the Kijun-sen within the P wave, the market can break the P wave downwards, which might happen next week. So let's see if it happens or not next week. And this is not a good timing to buy at that moment. So let's move on to Dow Jones. Okay, Dow Jones is now flat and ranging. The Kumo's up, but Kijun-sen is flat. Tenkan-sen also flat, and Chikou span above the candles. So this is flat and ranging, so we might see some downtrend or continuously ranging market next week. So unless the market breaks the resistance level of 3,516, we better hold. If it breaks, then it can continuously be up, so that's when I will look for the buy chance. Otherwise, it can be in a range or breaks the Tenkan-sen and retraces backwards to the Kijun-sen afterwards. Okay, and let's move on to Nasdaq. Nasdaq is very good. This is nicely uptrending. The Kumo's up, Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen both up, and Chikou span above the candles. And looks like the market is going up, and it has been supported by the Kijun-sen once and twice. So we might see some retracement next week, because this is the run number, 15,000. Hold on, let me do it precisely on the 15,000 level. So hold on, let me do this again. So since the market is reaching towards the run number and also a psychological number at this price level, it could be flat next week, because it's very close right now. So when you see market to be flat next week or reaches that level, then that will also continuously make the Kumo up, Kijun-sen up. But let's see next week, if the market goes flat, then that will make the Kijun-sen and Kumo go flat. So when it happens, it can retrace backwards and retrace backwards to Tenkan-sen initially. So, but if it breaks the run number, and then it might continuously go up, so that's when we start to look for buy chance. If you buy right now, then there's a risk of retracement. So I would prefer to wait for the breakout of the run number, 15,000, and then look for buy chance afterwards. So let's move on to S&P 500. This is also the similar situation. The Kumo's up, everything's up right now. Chikou span above the candles too, and the price is reaching near the round number of 4400 in this example. And this is very close, so the market could be range next week, or next week could be range or retracing backwards to Tenkan-sen. In this case, that the market has been supported by the Tenkan-sen once and twice, 3 times before, so even if the market retraces backwards to Tenkan-sen, it can be bounced and goes up continuously this way. So if you're buying it, then if you can place a stop loss below the Tenkan-sen, that would be great. So let's move on to the Euro stocks. Euro stocks is now ranging. Kumo flat, Kijun-sen became flat, but technically this is bullish market because the market is still above the Tenkan-sen, and also I do see it's been supported by the Tenkan-sen once and twice before, and also 3 times here too. So unless the market breaks the Tenkan-sen, this is bullish, so you can still look for the buy chance. And the stop loss is also below the Tenkan-sen. And expect the market breaks the round number of 4200 in this market too. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, FTSE 100. FTSE 100 is also flat right now. Kumo flat and Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen flat. But also, similar to the Euro stocks, the price has been supported by the Tenkan-sen once and twice before. So if the market breaks the resistance level, that will be a buy chance. And if the market breaks the Tenkan-sen, then it can go down to Kijun-sen. So you cannot look for buy chance if it happens next week. So that's a scenario for the FTSE 100. And CAC France, this is also similar to UK 100 and also Euro stocks. The price has been supported by the Tenkan-sen 3 times, and it's about to break the resistance. And when it does, that will be a great buy chance. But otherwise, the market can reach back to the Kijun-sen in this case. So let's move on to Nifty chart. In this Nifty chart, this is also ranging. Right now the Kumo's up, but Kijun-sen is flat. But there is a potential breakout next week, simply because the Senko span A is up, or Kumo itself is up, and this is thick and long enough. So this shows bullish market in the long term. And also Tenkan-sen is pointing upwards. This means that this is bullish in the short term. And once the market breaks the resistance level of 15,918.75, then that will make the Kijun-sen also point upwards this way. And then that will be a very nice buy chance. Otherwise, the price can retrace backwards to a Tenkan-sen or Kijun-sen. So better wait for the breakout of the resistance and then look for buy chance in this case. Okay, so let's move on to Hansen Index. This is bearish in the lower time frames, but as per weekly chart, this is still flat ranging. It's just retracing backwards on the daily chart, but as per weekly chart, this is ranging because the Kumo flat. And we had also see that there is a Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen dead cross. So it means that this is the end of the uptrend. So from next week onwards, the market could be ranging in either direction. So we better stay away in this kind of condition, or follow the downtrend and the lower time frames. So let's move on to AU200. This is also retracing and ranging. Kumo flat, Kijun-sen flat. And there's not much of moves in the market for the last 3 days, so this is ranging. So simply better wait for the breakout of the resistance level of 7508.3 level. And the next one is DAX index. DAX index is also similar to AU200, where the Kumo's flat, Senko span BA flat, and Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen both flat. But since the price is still above the Tenkan-sen, and the market has been supported by the Tenkan-sen once and twice, 3 times, and last week 4 times it's been supported. So if the market breaks the resistance and also round number of 15800, then it could be continuously bullish, and that's what we have to wait for. Otherwise, the market can drop all the way down to Kijun-sen, and you don't want to look for buy chance if it happens. So, but this is bullish. This is a bullish market. It's just that the market's ranging for the last couple of weeks above the Tenkan-sen, but there's a potential breakout still. So it might happen next week. So you can put the alert above 15800 and look for buy chance when it happens. Okay, so that covers the whole indices. So let me talk about the news for next week calendar. So let me turn to next week. It's going to be from the 12th until the 16th. Okay, so on the 12th we have no news, no big news, and on Tuesday, July 13th, we have one news. Germany will be having CPI report, so Euro could be affected by this, and also another CPI report in the US, so USD could be affected by this news next Tuesday. Next Wednesday, we have the rate decision on NZD pairs, so if you're trading New Zealand pairs, be careful. And also consumer price index and pound. So be careful on pound pairs on the Wednesday. And then this is important. CAD has a rate statement and also monetary policy in Canada. So if you are trading Canadian dollars, then you have to be careful on Wednesday night. And also there's a press conference of BOC also in Canada. So Wednesday is going to be a Canadian dollars day. Moving on to Thursday, we have AUD employment change that can be affected, and also unemployment rate also can be affected by this news. And then a pound also has a unemployment rate also. So pound could be affected by this on next Thursday on the 15th. And then technically on the Friday morning in Asian time there is a CPI in New Zealand, so you have to be careful, and NZD pairs, and then monetary policy meeting on Japan. So JPY could be affected on Friday. And then retail sales is also another big news in the US. So Friday has news on the Japan and US retail sales, and also Michigan consumer sentiment report will be there also. So to wrap up next week, I'm gonna mind the CAD pairs, CAD monetary policy next Wednesday, and also JPY monetary policy meeting, and also rate decision, and also in US retail sales can be affected by this. So we have lots of news next week also, important ones, big ones. So always watch news, check news before you take trades, and if you have no positions, then don't take trades before the news. Always pass over the news and come back to chart afterwards. Is my recommendation. Okay, so that covers the whole topic. So let me look at some comments here now. Yeah, once again, thank you for joining everyone. It's great to see you as always. Let's see, Aditya says, Mr. K, if weekly price inside Kumo and daily uptrending, can it be interpreted that daily chart is unstable? Yes, in that case, daily chart is unstable. Yes, so in lower time frames also could be unstable. So even if you see 1 hour chart to be uptrending, it might be spiky. Subash says, hi, I'm a beginner, want to become a full-time trader, and I stay in the UK. Could you please assist me on your course in Forex and options tradings? Would you please advise me since I'm new to this line? I don't trade options. I only do Forex. So if you're interested on my teachings, you can check the Ichimoku community and also GTS. The links are also in below the description. So you can click on that links, and if you have further questions, please write me an email. That will be the best way to advise you for the next step. And also, of course, you're always welcome to join this daily live streams or video sessions on my YouTube channel. So I use Ichimoku Kinko Hyo to capture the overall market situations. Recently, I haven't really talked about the price theory or time theories, but I use these also. And Kyushulex I also use to capture the bigger picture of the market. And when it comes to taking trades, exactly when it comes to capturing the trading edge, what I call trading edge is that the market where you can place the orders with the minimum stop loss. So I look for these trading edges in lower time frames. Okay, let's say Preet says, can you explain the directions of Senko span A and B in relation to direction of the market on the daily chart or the weekly charts? Yeah, so Senko span AB angle is important on any time frames. So if you see weekly chart to be uptrending, for example, in this stock indexes, Nasdaq is uptrending on the weekly chart. Senko span AB, both uptrending. And let's see, if you look at the daily chart, you see the Senko span B flat, but Senko span A is up. So this is confirmed bullishness on this daily chart too. So the price could go up and breaks the run number next week. But if you see Kumo flat on the daily chart, I mean if you see Senko span B flat and A flat also on the daily chart, then the power of the uptrend is not so high. So the market could be resisted at the run number and retrace backwards next week. And now this is bullish because the price is above the Tenkan-sen. So I would mind if the market is going to be breaking the Tenkan-sen or not next week on the daily chart in this situation. Because if it does, then it can go retrace backwards to the Kijun-sen. And of course, in that case, Kumo will go flat because both the Kijun-sen and Tenkan-sen will become flat. And that will make the Senko span A flat and Senko span V flat too, and the market might be retracing backwards to Kijun-sen. And when it breaks the Kijun-sen, then it goes down to the Kumo here. So you don't look for buy chance in that case anymore. But now there is a chance the market goes up, breaks a run number, so this is okay to look for buy still. I hope it answered to the question. Alright, Zach says, hello there, what's your take on Olympic trade platform? Do you give signals to people out there? I don't give signals and I don't give any robots or EAs because I take trades manually. So simply I share my strategies and also my views about the markets, and I am a manual trader. I take trades manually and place stop losses manually and exit manually. Sometimes I put the alerts on the price, important price numbers, like run numbers like this, but I don't take trades by signals. Okay, let's see. Munalula says, Mr. K, it's like you no longer use KTS strategy in lower time frames like 15 or 30 minute charts. I do still. I do still use the KTS strategy in lower time frames. Yes, because these are the confirmations. I mean lower time frames meaning the 30-minute chart or the 1 hour chart. Then I use these. Yes, thank you for joining everyone. Great to see you here. Peter says, when do you trade when in Dubai? I will be moving to the apartment tomorrow. So after tomorrow, I should be settled down more and I have more time to screen charts and start to take trades. For now, I have been so busy for all the things I do until I move to the apartment. So still, I think I will take a great rest for today and tomorrow, or maybe the day after tomorrow, and sometime next week. If I see a good setups, then I will start to take trades for real. Because when you're busy with something, then I recommend you to stay away from the charts because you cannot forecast on the charts, and then you better stay away. Because you lose focus, you lose concentration, and you cannot think sharp at that time. Like when you're frustrated or something else, let's say you're in an argument with somebody else, and when you're frustrated, then I don't recommend you to take trades. So in that sense, I am pretty busy in mind right now for this relocation. So I'm taking less time to take trades. Okay, Irvin says, hi Kay, if there is no major news, do markets tend to have more stable trends? Not necessarily. If you see no major news in the market, still the market could be spiky. Alright, let's see. Son says, which time frame is the best to get into the market? I would say the daily chart. You have to start from the daily chart and break it down to the lower time frames. I always do the top-down analysis. Never look at the lower time frame first and then go up. Because when you see lower time frames like this, let's say in 5-minute chart, then you see this is ranging right now in 5. You see this ranging, and if you raise up to the 1 hour chart, then you see also this is consolidating ranging. And then if you see daily chart, this is uptrending, or this is bullish market. So if you see the chart from lower time frames to up, it makes it difficult to capture the bigger picture. So always start from the higher time frames and narrow it down. That makes it so much easier to see market condition in different time frames. Okay, Lilaku says, hello Kay, can you make an analysis on Bitcoin? Thank you. Alright, let me check Bitcoin. I don't trade cryptos, so this is just for information. But so let's see, Bitcoin. Okay, so now this is going bearish. I do see that this is bearish because the Kumo's down on the daily chart. We see Kumo Senko span B down, A down, and the Kijun Sen is pointing down now. So this is in the P wave, still in the P wave, but I do see that there is a potential downtrend. The P wave could be broken downwards this way, so this is not the best time to buy. Chikou span is technically below the candles, but I would say that this is still in the range. The market has been going up and down and there is no direction on the daily chart, but because of this Kumo structure and Kijun Sen structure, I do see that there are sellers coming into the market. Let me check the weekly time frame. As per weekly chart, we do see that there is no more uptrend because there is a dead cross above the Kumo. So Chikou span breakout could follow, and Kumo breakout might happen anytime soon. So I don't recommend to buy in this case. It might go down a bit more. But once again, this is just my view about the technical analysis about Ichimoku. And I'm not really familiar with the fundamentals or what's happening around the Bitcoin. So yeah, it's just my view. Okay, oh Gabby, thank you for turning the like button blue. Thank you for that. Kenchu says, hi Kei, how to know the price will trace to Kijun Sen and time frames? Is it whenever break Tenkan Sen? Price retraces back to Kijun Sen. Yeah, that should happen after the price breaks the Tenkan Sen, and then it goes back to the Kijun Sen. Or Kijun Sen takes the 26 candles high and low, and it takes a mid price, so the market retraces backwards to Kijun Sen after 26 candles of the breakout. So it's the Ichimoku nature, and you can see markets that way too. The market, let's say the market breaks or bounces by this Tenkan Sen. Tenkan Sen takes 9 candles, so the market tends to come back to Tenkan Sen 9 candlesticks afterwards. And Kijun Sen, if the market gets away from the Kijun Sen, then it tends back to Kijun Sen 26 candles in average. And it might be bouncing or it might break, either direction. But this is the Ichimoku nature. Because these are called Hanne lines. Hanne means the mid price. Han means mid, and ne means price in Japanese. So Hanne simply translates as middle price or mid price. So Kijun Sen is the mid price for the last 26 candles, and Tenkan Sen is the mid price for the last 9 candles. And that's why once the market bounces by the Tenkan Sen, it tends to come back to Tenkan Sen 9 candlesticks afterwards, and Kijun Sen 26 candles afterwards. I mean, in average, it doesn't always exactly 9 or 26, but it tends to be like that. Okay, Shamal says, Dear Mr. K, as I know that the Ichimoku is not working for cryptos because they depend on those big traders whom enter them cryptos to the markets from they call wallets. I would say technical indicators work on any markets, even cryptos it can work. So I think the point is to be able to understand the market correctly. Yeah, and also to understand the Ichimoku correctly is the more key to success. Okay, Daluk says Bitcoin's bearish, might hit 23k. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see. The market might drop down again to 30,000. It could be. It's ranging now and it's going down on the daily chart. So it might drop down to 30,000 round number, and we'll see where it goes afterwards. Okay, William Jones says, first time viewer, thank you for joining, William Jones. Are these the only trading symbols that you trade, and if so, what platforms do you use? I use the MT5 to take trades, and this is TradingView, and I use TradingView to screen charts because it looks nicer and I can organize these different markets so easily, and it's very handy and it's very good on mobiles too. So I use TradingView for screening charts, but when it comes to taking trades, escalating trades, I use the MT5. Okay, Steve Forex says you haven't touched the NZD USD. NZD pairs I don't take trades, and that's why it's not on my watch list. But I can take a look at it. NZD USD on the weekly basis. Let's see, on the weekly chart, this is also ranging now. The price is dropping down to Kumo. So on the week of, on the 3rd of May, or the next week, 10th of May, the market ended the uptrend because there is a dead cross of Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen. So these dates or these weeks are the end of the uptrend first of all, and now it's dropping down, and this is in a range. The Chikou breakout already happened, so this is a range. If the market goes into the Kumo this way, then it might be spiky in lower time frames. So this is not an ideal market to be in a trade, in my experience. Yeah, I don't trade New Zealand because it's spiky in lower time frames usually, and also the spreads are higher. Yeah, I used to look at the chart on the New Zealand pairs, but now I don't because it's a bit spikier and the spreads are higher. And the same thing about the Swiss franc pairs. Swiss franc pairs are also spiky, and also the spreads are higher. So Swiss franc pairs are also in lower priority of mine. Yeah, Leraku, you're welcome here. Mustafa says, hi Kei, I'm using Ichimoku 521, 42, 21. What you're thinking? Should I use normal 926, 52, 26? I recommend to stick to the original setting because it's been working for myself, and especially if you want to articulate the time theory with Kihon Suchi numbers, then I strongly recommend you to use the default Ichimoku settings. If you don't really use the time theories or price theory, then I think you can just set any settings is okay. But as per original teaching, I recommend to use the original setting. Okay, so I will be ending the live stream in about 5 minutes because it's been about 1 hour so far, and I'm getting ready for dinner tonight. So let's see what else we have in the comments. Okay, Kishore says, hey Kay, every Sunday do you live stream about weekly forecast at this time? Yes. Not only Sundays, but almost every day the video session or the live stream starts at 14 or 2 p.m. in UTC time zone. So sometimes due to personal reasons I cannot record videos or I cannot do the live streams, but usually I do either live stream or the recorded video session at 2 p.m. UTC time zone on my YouTube channel. And this is for public live streams. On Ichimoku community, I do the sessions on Thursdays and Saturdays starting at 3 p.m. in UTC time zone. SU Han says, do you own any cryptos? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't really take trades on the cryptos yet. Let's see, Peter says, hi Kay, may I know the setting of Ichimoku indicator in your trading views there? Yeah, so this is default. I can just show you my default Ichimoku setting here. So it doesn't show, hold on. Looks like it doesn't show, hold on, let me see. Yeah, so this is simply the Ichimoku default setting here, like this. Yeah, word tracker, yes, if you want to capture time theories, then that will be for swing highs and swing lows. Let's see, Susan says, Kay, can you take a Bitcoin forward chart and 1 hour chart to get your thoughts on the short-term movements? Also, Ichimoku works very well with crypto as well. Yep, sure. Ichimoku works on cryptos too. Let me see. Bitcoin on the forward chart. Okay, in this forward chart, this is also ranging. There's no trend. But since this is in a P wave, we can also expect the market breaks the P wave downwards. Because daily chart shows daily chart is downtrending, so P wave could be broken downwards. And with that in mind, if you see downtrend on the 1 hour chart, then that will be a great time to sell. Yeah, I think that will be a scenario. Let me take a look at the 1 hour chart as well. Okay, so in 1 hour chart, this is also ranging because the Kumo's up, but Kijun Sen is flat and Chikou span touching, so this is ranging. So even if the market breaks a P wave, it could be resisted at the top in 1 hour chart at 34,205, and it might reverse backwards anytime soon. And then you might see a box range. You might see the box like this, like the box range, like this way. And no more P wave could be happening. So this is a very difficult market to be in. And when I see this kind of settings, then I will stay away usually. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you for joining, everyone. Great to see you. Thank you for joining. Zisser says, do you trade DAX? I don't trade DAX yet, but I will soon. Maybe this September, October, I will be trading indexes. Alexman says, hi Kate, you should for sure buy some Bitcoin and hold until it reaches 100K. We'll see. Where to buy is the key. Now I do see that this is bearish, so I don't feel positive to buy yet. Okay, let's see. Oh, Kishore, thank you for the comment. He says, Kay, you are doing a wonderful job by helping the people struggling with the Forex market. God always bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the words. Alright, Susan, you're welcome too. Alright, so that ends today's live stream. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, tomorrow might be a recorded video session because I will be relocating also from this hotel to the apartment that you see in the back and this way. So I will be moving to the apartment. So tomorrow might be a bit busy, so there might be a video session. But if I can do the live stream, then I will. So you will see by the notification on my YouTube channel. So hopefully we see some trends next week and more opportunities in the market. So until I see you next time, please stay healthy, stay safe, and also stay gold. Alright, bye for now everyone. Matane. Thank you. I say matane and that means see you in Japanese. So matane everyone. See you. Thank you.